One would think that a politician will be extremely busy dealing with national affairs. Well, it's true, but for one MP, she manages to deal with that and yet holds a full-time position in the hospital and volunteers her time to 20 organizations. Well, today I'm going to meet this superwoman and the recipient of the Outstanding Young Persons Award, Dr. Fatimah Lateef. Dr. Fatimah, you devote your time to 20 charitable organizations. How did you end up with so many?
I have cut back quite tremendously, since becoming an MP, and life is a lot busier. How did I end up with so many? Well, I think it just came on along the way, and people kind of invited me because they found that I could contribute to the organization or the association, and I find that it is very enriching and indeed satisfying, as well as a form of self-development and learning for me as well. So I kind of ended up with quite a few, but 20 is quite manageable now.
It's not only about time management. How did you do it? What's your secret?
Right, I suppose it's your mindset and how you want to contribute to society. I am a very busy person. As a medical specialist who does teaching and research as well as clinical work, that takes up a lot of time. And now as a politician, that is like another full-time job. So I have to make my time daily by having a list of things to do. I have to complete the list every day. So it's like a very remote way of writing out a list. Not even electronic. I actually use pen and paper and pencil. Write down, and every day when I finish everything, I will strike off.
We all only have 24 hours a day. There must be some things that you have to sacrifice. What are those?
Right, I have to cut down on my running time. I used to run every day, and I run marathons and long distance. And now I can only afford twice a week of running 10 kilometers each time. I've cut back on a lot of my mountain climbing trips. I've actually cut back a little bit on my reading as well. So those are some of the things that I have to cut back on. And also one more thing, I had to cut back on my hobby, which is cooking.
So how did you start volunteering? Is there an inspiration or something?
Yeah, it started off because of my modest background. As a young child in school, I had a lot of restless energy. And we came from a poor background, so we didn't have a lot of money to go overseas, to go shopping during school holidays. So I volunteered with my dad, and we went on helping around the community, visiting poor households and so on. So it started off in the community locally, and subsequently, as I became a doctor, as I took on my passion of mountain climbing, we helped rural communities in these areas. And as a doctor, you can contribute more, because now I can even lead the Singapore medical team out into large-scale disaster areas like the tsunami, earthquakes, cyclones, and so on. So I think I've taken that further and see how I actually can adapt as I progress in life to help communities, not just in Singapore and the region, but also at the international scale.
In 2006, Dr. Fatimah received the prestigious World Honoree for the Outstanding Young Person Award for Humanitarian and or Voluntary Leadership.
It was an interesting experience because I actually attended the World Congress in Korea, and it was a very big conference, bigger than my usual medical conference. I think it had something like 20,000 participants.
Oh my God, must be an experience.
It was an interesting experience, a big learning experience for me. Outstanding Young Person of the World is a very special award because it is at the international level, and you're competing with leaders amongst youth all over the world. And at the conference itself, which I attended in 2006, I actually got to meet so many young people doing different kinds of things to touch other people's lives. And that's what youth is all about. So I hope that the young people in Singapore will come forward and let us know what you're doing, because a lot of them are out there doing their stuff quietly, starting companies, doing things that they are passionate about. But come forward and get yourself nominated, and perhaps your network and your circle of contact and communication can actually be widened by this award.
Do you think Singaporean youth are doing enough with their life?
I think we have seen a change, because now schools have got a lot of voluntary programs, CIP programs and so on. But I think what's important is what drives them internally and whether they're doing it for the right reasons. So that's important.
Are they doing for the right reasons?
That is a question they have to answer themselves. It's important for youth to be able to reflect on what they're doing in their lives and understand better, because sometimes we are too driven by the competitiveness, by the academic work that we have to excel in and so on. So sometimes we have to take a step back, slow down and reflect.
So you've done a lot, you've done so much. Is there anything else you still want to do?
Yeah, I'm doing new things and learning new things every day. In fact, the principle of my life has always been, if you have it, give it and share it. If you want it, you have to strive hard to get it. Even though you may think that I've actually picked in a lot of things, but I think every new day I'm learning new things, meeting new people, influencing someone else and making an impact on their life, even though it's in a small way. You know, many people often ask me, Dr. Fatimah, you are one small person from one small country. How are you going to make a difference in a disaster response which is of such a large scale? You know, a big earthquake, a tsunami, with so many people affected. But I believe that even though you are one drop in the big blue ocean, everyone has to contribute, because if you do not, then all the drops will eventually dry up and the ocean will not be there anymore. So I think no matter how small our contribution is, we have to do what we believe in.
And when we come back, we see how 2 volunteers devote their time to help the Outstanding Young Person Committee.